I'm gonna praise you, and I'm gonna praise you. Take the shackles off my feet so I can dance. I just wanna praise you, I just wanna praise you. You broke the chains, now I can lift my hands. And I'm gonna praise you, I'm gonna praise you.
He's the pastor of one of the Greater Paths Baptist Church. He's a big personality, and he's got a big venue to accommodate that big personality. Gets embroiled in a bit of a scandal and loses his congregation. And so he and his wife decide to hire a documentary film crew to sort of chart their ascendance back to prominence, or so he hopes. A teacher of mine in grad school always looked at acting as sort of controlled schizophrenia, and you get a chance to let out different aspects of your personality, different characters as they call for. I love the variety of it all. I love each sandbox I get to play in offers its own unique set of challenges. I just like to play. Adamma and Adanne are, if this was their first film, they fooled a lot of people, because I think they've done this about 3, 4, 5, 6, 50, 11 times before, and they just telling everybody this was their first time. They're phenomenal. Work with them in a heartbeat. It influenced it because I feel like I'm an insider, and I come from a place of love. I'm not trying to mock, I'm not trying to tear down. I'm trying to open up questions to say, like, in which ways could this institution evolve?
So talented, so wonderful. I mean, he made it so easy. He's got a great other half. So that honestly, I think it gives us freedom to play, and we had a lot of fun. That was an emotional roller coaster. You know, Trinitie went through a lot in the film, but it was still a lot of fun. That was the thing with her and Lee Curtis. Where they worked great. Oh, they're so lovely, so talented, so smart, so connected in the way they work together. And they were delightful. I loved their entire process, and extremely clear and yet collaborative. You know, like, I think the industry is lucky to have them. I love being connected to God. I love going to church. There are places where I think the church can evolve in some of their ideologies, how they teach and preach, and that I have never agreed with. Not because I disagree, but because it doesn't feel right in my spirit when I think of God's compassion and love. And so I think that portion of the film is what really spoke to me as well.
Director, writer Adamma, the risk that she was willing to take, and then ultimately working with Regina and Sterling. Like, that for me is almost like a notch in my belt, you know what I mean? And it's a big departure for me from my career. I've done a lot of dramas, a lot of very serious stuff, and this is like, a little bit of critique, you know, is obviously going to happen in a story like this, but I want them to be able to enjoy it. I think we have a lot of different depictions of the church, and they're all normally from like a very aspirational, you know, perfect lens, and I just think there's room for every kind of storytelling. I hope that people can make space for it. Conphidance and I did a full concert with a choir, and I don't think it's in there, but I've never been like a pastor with a choir behind me, and there's something really powerful about that.
First of all, Regina and Sterling, if you ever say their names, you want to be a part of what they're doing. But also, it was the story. You know, especially me being from Atlanta, growing up in the church, it was a script and a story that I felt needed to be told, especially for our culture, especially for our people. Like, we need to be able to laugh at ourselves and also call ourselves out, you know, to sort of look at ourselves in the mirror. And I think that's what this movie does. I mean, truly a dream come true. Like, we were laughing on set all the time. And, you know, we filmed this in the dead of summer, so it was like 98 degrees in Atlanta, humid. We're outside under this little tent. The only thing we could do was drink water and laugh. Like, that was the only way we was able to get through it. But because of that, we truly were able to bond and become a family. They are truly the next superstars of Hollywood. They are so brilliant, so funny, so amazing, and they just know they know their story so well that they're able to play within it, which gives us the opportunity to play within that. I would love the audience to sort of take away not only laughter, but also like reflection, you know, especially those who come from the, you know, church community or religious background. It's like, have the reflection to look at it, be able to laugh at it, and also say, how can I do better? You know, how can I, you know, change so I can be my best self? Chasing Regina Hall across a football-sized field parking lot with a mic in the sun. And she, because she didn't have a mic, was saying all the funniest things while following her. That, like, for me, like, we had to do that scene like at least 7 to 8 times, and we just cracked up the entire time. That's probably one of my favorite memories.
Just the short film. I just felt like the short film was such a really unique perspective and unique voice. And then those guys, the twins, the Igbo twins, Adamma and Adanne, thought they were really special, really like their aspirations and ambitions had never really seen being attempted. So I was like, I really want to help. New perspectives, not fresh perspectives, fresh stories, going close to the bone. Do you know what I mean? And like giving your all to a project, you know, and really giving you food for thought. And like conversation starters, you know what I mean? I just like telling stories, so however you do it, it's more collaborative. Acting's a bit, shut yourself off a little bit, but it's been really enjoyable. It's cool, I've got loads to learn from Jordan, you know, loads to learn from how he puts projects together, how he develops projects, so it's incredible that he came onto this to help us. They're amazing, they're on it, they're clear, they know what they want, and they're ambitious, and they're open, you know, which is really important, and they're honest. I want them to want to take it, you know. I want them to look at their relationships and look at their lives and look at their relationships with themselves and with their inner selves.
Script, man, I thought it was an amazing topic and something that should be put out in the forefront, and it was funny. And I wanted to do some comedy. They were fun on camera and off camera. I mean, we had great laughs, our chemistry was there, and we just connected quickly, man. And I loved every bit of it. It felt like too short, though. I wanted it to go longer. They were doing something that was risky, of course, but he understood the material, and then we played around. And man, they played. They took things out. They reduced it. They got big. They got small. Leadership is hard, man. Leadership is hard, and you know, as you rise, just work harder to maintain your integrity. Work harder to remain who you started out to be. The prayer scene was hilarious because it felt like a battle, you know, but man, we laughed.
This story is like just so needed, I feel, for the church community. Anybody that is well-versed in church culture, Christian culture, knows that there's a lot of things that are just overlooked and swept under the rug. And I feel like this movie shines a light on a lot of that. I learned so much. Sterling is just a scene partner for the gods. I mean, I love him and his energy, and he's so grounded, but then he's also just so spontaneous and theatrical, and he's such a good improviser. Regina's hilarious. And she really feels like almost like a little second mom, because my mom is also a first lady. And I told her straight up, I said, my mom needs this movie. When she sees this, it's almost gonna trigger her how much she feels seen. So Adamma and Adanne, like, they are visionaries, and they know exactly what they want. They know how to set the tone. They know how to communicate what they want for a scene. And I feel like their future is like so bright. I can't wait to see what they come up with.
It made my job super easy. It was fantastic. It felt very familial and communal and we were all super protective over each other. It was great. They were really dedicated to like nurturing us as filmmakers. It was really nice. I think that it's the one that called to us the loudest or plagued us the most. That's a good one. Our lived experiences, I think. Yeah, definitely our lived experiences growing up in Southern Baptist megachurch culture. A lot. Plenty. What shouts out to mine first is Sterling singing along to Jasmine Sullivan while we were in between takes. Yeah. It was really important for me to highlight that this isn't just a critique. We were also showing the beauty and like the reverence for organized religion and for Christianity, because it's not just all one.
I want to be your lady, baby. If your game is song, give me a call, boo. If your love is strong, gotta give my all to you. At night, I think of you. I want to be your lady, baby. If your game is song, give me a call, boo. If your love is strong, gotta give my all to you.
Honk for Jesus!
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 Hey, hey, hey.
my soul. You won't break my soul. You won't break my soul. You won't break my soul. I'm telling everybody, 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 everybody. You won't break my soul. You won't break my soul. Break my soul. You won't break my soul.
Theaters and streaming only on Peacock September 2nd.